Good morning everybody, that's Ted from the Devil's in the Detail. As you can see, I've now masked the section of the roof off just to make sure that we don't push polish into the seals that I've already cleaned. So I'm now ready to start correcting some of this damage that you can see in the roof. I've just measured the paint and I'll just show you that. According to that, there's no paint. There's a glitch in the matrix, as they say. There we go. As you can see, they're good readings. I don't envisage any problems in removing, as much of this damage. I'm hoping I'll get it 100%. We can't always guarantee 100%, but we're going to try. There's a few stone chips on the roof panel which I'll touch in after I've polished it. But I'm going to get on now and get my polishers out of hibernation. Looking forward to doing it. So we'll see what the results look like a little bit later. See you then. Just thought I'd show the boot area. Now it's all nice and clean and put back together. Looking how it should. A quick explanation of what I'm going to do to this car. It's having a full correction and I'm going to try and remove 100% of the scratches. Now some of these scratches are really deep. These blemishes, they're not too deep, but running across there is a scratch, and there was a big scratch all along here. Same the other side, and on the front you can see. Now a two-stage polish wouldn't have enough cut to remove the deeper scratches, so this is why I'm doing a three-stage. Now I'm starting off with a rotary polisher and a wool mop. This will give the most cut to get the deep scratches out. It will also take all the swirls out as well at the same time, and then I'll do the extra two stages which will refine any mop marks out of that, give it some depth and more gloss. But we're already, I've done this section here and it's already looking a million times better. You can see by the finish over here, it's a bit lackluster. But it's coming on a treat already. So I'm just going to continue around the car because we have got plenty of scratches to remove. There's deep scratches all over the place really that have got to be removed, and this is why I booked it in for a three-stage polish. Two stages is great for enhancing, but it won't remove the deeper stuff. So this is going to have the full treatment and we'll try and get it as good as possible. Right then, I'm going to crack on, get the rest of this roof polished. Well, I've just finished doing the 3 stages of polish on the roof, the centre panel. What I've used is Copen H9 on the wall pad. Then I've used Copen F6 on medium pad, and then I've used the Menzerner Super Finish 3800 on a black pad. And earlier, before I start masking the other side of this seal up, I just want to show that there is some damage already to the seal. This is purely so that the owner doesn't think that I've done it. But you know, they are older cars and damage does ensue. So just wanted to show before I mask it from that side that it's already got some damage. You can clearly see now that how much the paint that's been polished compared to the car that came in. It now looks two different colours. It's a lovely colour. It's coming up really nice. I think it's the car's going to be transformed. It was certainly ready for some love. Right, I'm going to get on, start the boot lid, but as far as 50/50s go, they don't show much better than that. Let's crack on. Well, I've done a 50/50 so you can all see the sort of difference that having paint restoration can make. Now this is literally, I've just finished the first cut. There's still 2 more stages to go, but obviously I've done this for demonstration purposes. I'm going to cut the whole of the boot lid before I do the second stages, but you can already see the car looks a different colour completely. It's the colours come back lovely and rich and getting depth already, and this car's going to be transformed. Like I say, you can tell it looks 2 different colours. So if you have any doubts that the paintwork can't be rectified, you can clearly see it can. And any cars that have been having roadside washes will certainly be able to be recovered back to this sort of condition. Right, so I'm going to carry on now and cut the rest of the boot lid. Like I say, I just did this to demonstrate, you know, the difference it can make. I thought this might be a good time to explain why I chose to do a 3-stage polish on this Copen. Basically, although it's covered in wash swirls that could theoretically be removed by doing a 2-stage polish, there's also some deeper scratches that you wouldn't get out with a 2-stage polish. Now the problem is that doing a 3-stage polish means, and I'm using a wall pad for the cutting, and I'm using the Copen H902 to cut all the swirls and as many of the deep scratches out as I can. If they're not safe to get out, if they're too close to the edges, then really we skim over them, but we don't try and burn them out because we'll burn through the edges. I've explained before in my other videos that the paint's always thinner on the edges, so we're not going to cut that out. But imagine when you take your car into a body shop and you'd look at this panel now and think, oh, that looks lovely. The minute it goes out in the sunshine after a single stage cut, this is what it looks like. Now you can see clearly the holograms and some swirling that are created by the wall mop. When you stand it in the sun, you'll just see all these marks showing up. And this is why we do 2 more stages to refine all this out, so that then we know that it's completely clear and there will not be any marks or the flares shooting off in all directions. And you know, when you've seen cars where the sun's hit them and you can see everywhere the mop's been, this is why. It's a single stage heavy cut to remove the defects, and you need to refine all this out if you want clarity. So this is the reason I booked this in for a 3-stage polish. We want it to look as good as it can, and you've seen on plenty of my other videos that very rarely, and I mean rarely, would I do a 2-stage polish, and that's the reason, because I can get more defects out than a 2-stage polish would. So when you turn the light off, of course, it looks really clear. So there you have it, that's my explanation. Hope this helps you understand why we go to the lengths that we do. See you on the next one. Right, so I've finished the initial cut with the wall mop, and happy to say that I seem to have got 99% of the marks out of it. I'm now going to start the second stage polishing. Now for the second stage, I'm going to be using a medium density foam pad on an orbital machine. The first cut with the wall was on a rotary machine which just spins round its axis. These oscillate, and that's why they're called orbitals. So I'm going to use Koshchem F6 now on for the second stage, which will start taking all these holograms out. So I'll just do a short bit. and you can see how the machine works. This is a battery operated, but we have got cable operated as well. So now I'm just going to give it a wipe down with some panel wipe, which will remove all the oil from the compound so that I can actually see clearly whether it's taking out the marks from the wall pad. It appears to be coming up quite nice now. That was the first set of probably 3 sets in this area. Then I'll move on to another area. Only doing a short piece at a time. We're not like you'd see on the television or a body shop where they're swinging the polisher and all that's leaving is stripes in the paint. So we're going to work it. There's a couple of marks I can see just round there that it hasn't got out. And then we'll continue round. I'll do another set on this and then I'll put the torch on it and show you. Right, I've just finished this section here with the second stage, and I'll show you that we're already starting to get more depth, more gloss, and we're getting rid of the flares. You can see there still are some very slight flaring, but when the next stage is done it'll remove them flares as well. But we're already getting there, but you can actually see the depth by the reflection of the torch and the light that it's creating. Right, well, I've got a lot to do, so I'm going to crack on. Just thought I'd I suppose educate a little bit on why we do things like we do. Right, see you later. Right, I've finished the second stage polishing of the boot lid, and I've now changed the pad to a black, very soft pad, and Super Finish Plus Menzana. So I'll show you a little bit of that. Right, let's give it a wipe down and see what it's looking like. I want to show you this so that you can see that we don't put any gloss enhancers for the pictures or the videos we do. I want to show it just how it comes off the polishing, which is now completely naked, and hopefully it's going to look glorious. I might have to just go over it with another set in this area again, but because I did multiple sets with the second stage, right, I'm going to take the camera out so you can see that I don't mess anything about or enhance it in any way, and absolutely pure finish. So I'm just going to continue on now around the rest of the boot lid and get it all looking like that. Very, very pleased. It's coming up really nice. Looks a totally different colour than when it arrived, and gloss levels are really, really good. Should have put my gloss meter on it to start with, shouldn't I? Never mind. Perhaps I'll do it on the bonnet. So there we have it. I'm going to crack on now and finish the rest of the boot lid. Hope you're enjoying watching how this is done. Might be a bit more information than you need, but you know, it's just really the way I'm filming it, and I'm not a very good filmmaker, as most of you already know, but it's all about the work and the finish. So there we have it. Gonna crack on and get it finished. Move on to another panel. See you soon.